Hello, welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name's Wendy Wing. I'm doing a reading for the collective. Welcome, collective. I'm tuning into general energies and not one person's specific energies. So take what resonates and leave the rest. If you would like a reading where I tune into your specific energies, you are welcome to schedule a reading with me. The link to schedule that reading is in the description box below. So, all right, collective. In the past, you were in the energy of Nine of Swords, suffering in silence. I can just feel this isolation, feeling very isolated. You could have in the past been surrounded by people and yet still feeling alone. I'm also getting staying silent, not voicing your truth. Boy, something changed in regards to one, suffering in silence, feeling alone, feeling isolated, and especially not speaking your truth. I get that for some of you tuning in, you might have kept your truth, kept, that throat chakra closed down for so long. Maybe you weren't allowed to speak. Maybe you were raised to not be allowed to speak. Maybe and then in subsequent relationships, you also, your truth was not your perspective, your truth, speaking from that space was not welcome. For some of you, not welcome. I'm saying that in the kindest way. It feels like you learned that it's not safe to speak the truth. It's not safe to speak your truth, for sure. Some of you might be experiencing, since this is in the past position, there is a change, learning, wanting to speak your truth, wanting to have your voice, have your opinion, have your truth, and speak that. And the difficulty is that you haven't done this maybe ever in your life or very rarely. And so it feels so awkward and weird that when you speak from that spot, when it's really important, when it really matters to you, when you're trying to stand your ground and speak your truth, it might be one, really uncomfortable. Two, it might be laden with a lot of emotions and make you feel, voice quivery and yeah. That will pass. It's getting used to speaking your truth not suffering. I feel like the suffering in this is because you're not, like, you're asleep and you weren't allowed to really participate with your truth. But something happened in the past where maybe you had to step into this role and speak your truth to take care of yourself. Don't let your ego and get in the way of your growth in this development, in this space, if this resonates, to allow yourself to be shaky and maybe a little more emotional than you expected. You're learning. Because you have not spent a lot of time speaking your truth, it feels like being in those kind of charged positions where you need to stand up for yourself. You might sound a little, emotional. So it feels weird. It might be embarrassing, but I'm getting like a arrested development in this area. So you might be further along in many other aspects of your life, and this one is behind. Don't let your ego shut that down because you've got emotionality in it. And also, I'm getting that some of you are, by speaking your truth, you might lose some people in your life who don't want you to speak your truth, that don't want you to have your opinion or your perspective. It's okay if those people leave. Are they really your people? Are they really the best in your highest and greatest good? Someone who doesn't want you to speak and be yourself? As you start clearing house, more people will come in who can be checked. More people can come in who can handle your truth. Appreciate those people. They're amazing. They're so healing. If you've had this, someone who will allow you the uncomfortable aspects of sharing where you're at, and not punishing you, not trying to shut you down, not trying to push you back into silence. Those people are gems. All right, just sending appreciation. All right, in present time, collective, you are in the energy of hope. It's a very happy energy, very sunshine, joyful, access to light. Ooh, interesting. I have a feeling that there's something about you learning how to speak your truth and use that voice, even in you're working to heal this throat chakra and learn how to communicate your truth, to find alignment with this chakra. It has something to do with what's going on in your present energy. around you being a natural leader, maybe a leading in your field, a visionary. Some of you might be an entrepreneur, that you've got an idea, a big picture idea. And part of being a leader is learning how to overcome challenges. So if you've had a lot of challenges, perspective might be, instead of everything's going wrong for me, and that is a solid perspective. You can have that perspective, or you can shift to, I'm being given a lot of challenges so I can make different choices, learn how to overcome challenges so I can mature and be the person I've always wanted to be. There's something about like a test by fire. It feels like you're transmuting a lot of dark energies. It's really beautiful. The challenges and that might be coming up are your own ego. Like I said, and once you kind of feel the difference between when you're in your ego and worried about how others are perceiving you versus a bigger picture, what you want for yourself as a whole going forward, not caring what people think. Once you start really understanding your own ego, you start really recognizing people who are still taking orders from their ego. When people are in their ego, there's this lack of confidence. They might seem confident because they're projecting and this airs of, I'm so important. But they're really insecure. Oh, I'm also getting that the more you grow in this way, the more you speak your truth, the more you overcome these obstacles, wow, then there's this discrediting of people who have lied. It feels like even if you're not talking to those people directly, the more you move on, and when a situation arises where you need to stand your ground and speak your truth, karmically even, there's a balancing. And wow, I'm just seeing that the more you are willing to go where you feel uncomfortable and speak your truth and be hopeful and raise your vibration, then it feels like these egos, these people with inflated egos, will be seen for what they are, and they'll be discredited. Little side note. All right, so family pattern that's going on right now in the collective is 5 of Pentacles. Financial and material changes. 5s are challenges and obstacles. They're feeling left out in the cold. So a family pattern about finances, about stability or the lack of stability. Okay, family pattern. Interesting. Okay, the family pattern is an energetic, an inability to stay stable and secure, especially home and finances. The people, the pattern I'm seeing in possibly in your family of origin is how there might be a lack of stability, a financial loss, feeling out in the cold, insecure, and then they do really well. It feels very associated with their emotions. So your family might have a lot of, I'm not saying they're bipolar, but I'm saying it feels very like hot and cold, on and off. The energy fluctuates. Maybe people actually do feel better when in your family when they've got that new love interest, but they don't know how to maintain that level of vibration. They don't know, maybe they have unhealthy patterns. They don't know what to do with that love. And so they go back down and they are in financial loss again and feeling insecure. It feels like this pattern of loss of money, gaining money, maybe around mood, maybe around love and attention, and then they go back down again. It feels like they could really skyrocket with the finances and do really well for a while, and then they crash down again. It feels like a pattern of this very up and down type of energy. All right. Personal issues are 4 of Cups. This is disconnect and boredom. You might have a personal issue around not having harmony in the home and being in conflict with others in the home. And so it feels like this might also be a family pattern as well as a personal issue, since we're talking about, since the home is being brought in. So it feels like you might do better with strangers and friends, people outside of your home. You might have done better at school. You might have been more comfortable at school, more comfortable at work. And home was not a secure and comfortable place because there was so much conflict. There was a lack of support, no communication. And so to survive in that type of environment, you disconnect. You just shut off at home. Feels like everybody is more strangers in the home than outside of the home. Maybe if this is it feels like a coping skill of disconnecting, of feeling stuck in that, feeling there's no change, there's no way to change this. And so just a survival tactic feels like disconnecting. All right. Your conscience, what you would do if no one was there to judge you. Five of Swords, conflict and defeat. Are you feeling a little revengeful? Wanting to make someone pay? Okay. This feels connected with this past energy of communicating. The more you gather strength, the more you want to speak your truth. Make sure that you don't, there's a difference from, you might have started at not speaking your truth very much to speaking your truth, and when someone messes up, you're like rage. I want to win. I've suffered so many defeats. It feels like you might go into punishing, say extra, to really, seal the deal. There's speaking your truth and then speaking really painful truths that are unnecessary. It might take some self-discipline to just speak your truth, be aligned with what you want the outcome to be. Know before you go into a conversation with someone what you want your outcome to be. Are you wanting to just punish and eviscerate someone? Is that really the end goal? I think once you identify what it is that you want out of this situation, then it will help you find how much to say and how to say it. If you don't have that alignment and you're just like, I speak the truth, then there's, yeah, that might be the truth, but it's not in alignment with what you're wanting in the final outcome to be. Don't be careless with other people's feelings. We're all in this journey together. We're all cut from the same cloth. I'm saying finding a balance, with speaking your truth and standing up for yourself versus just eviscerating people. Otherwise, you start becoming more like the people who created you not speaking your truth. All right. Your desire right now is Six of Pentacles, material and spiritual prosperity. boy, I just got really happy all of a sudden, like a real joyful energy with your desire. So Six of Pentacles talks about balance, about reciprocity, equal give and take. This card talks about material and spiritual prosperity. Some of you might be wanting, searching for belonging, searching for security, safety, stability, a very grounded, it feels like some of you wish for that stability in that first chakra so you can create and move on from there. Yeah. You really want to feel like with this leadership position in the current energy, you're also wanting to create some wealth, leadership in business. You want security, abundance, prosperity. Feels like you have a skill or talent that's very unique, something that is specialized. Interesting. All right. You're wanting that stability, that business leadership, the security, the stable home. Some of you are wanting to rush towards, like, there's this ambition and there's this drive to succeed and fast thinking. Some of you are embodying those aspects to get towards your stability. And some of you are desiring someone who, like a partnership, someone who is ambitious, action-oriented, driven to succeed, fast thinking. So some of you are wanting to embody that and do that on your own, and some of you are wanting to partner with someone. You might have noticed that right now in current energies, it feels like trying a little bit here, not quite sure where to put your focus. Some of you might be spreading yourself a little thin, too many ideas, too many irons in the fire. And so your energy is divided a bit. Ooh, some of you might be picking things that should be financially successful, or maybe I should do this because it will lead to this, instead of truly just trusting where you're excited to go, who you're excited to work with, doing something for the joy of doing it, not, okay, I'll do this because I think it will lead me to something else. people can feel that if you don't like where you're at, if you're doing it just to get finances, if you're doing something to just get attention or more followers, or if you're doing something working with someone that you'd rather not, but you're like, I really should. It feels like listening to what are you drawn to do? Trust your instincts. All right. In the center of your reading, collective, is the Empress, fertility. The Empress is very wise, abundant, fertile. Some of you, this might be a time where you are ready to be pregnant, or those younger viewers. For some of you, your higher self is saying you are fertile with ideas. You are fertile with possibilities. Oh, so a lot of this Empress energy is being blocked by your fears and worries. It's like you're giving so much airtime in your thoughts and how you communicate and your actions. You're trying to, it feels like maybe stuck in fearful thought patterns. It's time to release worries. Your challenge right now is stand your ground, 7 of Wands. And it's been coming up, so I'm not surprised that this is the actual cards in here. 7 of Wands is someone who is always ends up on top. They stand up for themselves. They protect themselves. They don't back down. Your challenge is to stand your ground. Maybe you haven't practiced standing your ground. Maybe you were raised to be more submissive. Your challenge is feel like you have this decision to stay in the cycle of doing things the same way, not speaking your truth, allowing others to behave in ways that you can tell are not beneficial. Maybe they're lying, maybe they're justifying their behavior. Whatever this is, your challenge right now is to stand your ground. I'm also getting to not allow others in lower vibrations to pull you back into darker energies, darker, denser, lower vibrational energies. To also stand your ground with your vibration. If you notice your vibration dipping, to do what you can to release whatever it is that keeps you there and stay at that higher vibration. Vibration first, then talk. Vibration first, then thinking. Vibration first, then action. All right. The lesson is 3 of Cups, rejoice and celebration. Yeah, it's kind of, there's a lot of work energy here, working on yourself, working on work, working on stability, healing, ascension energy, standing your ground. The lesson is to, this is a marathon type of energy, and to not stay in the standing your ground defensive kind of mode, but to remember that why you're doing this is so you can have joy, so you can have celebration. Celebrate the victories along the way. This week, there's a lot of family get-togethers and celebrating. This might not be a time to be full on in stand your ground mode and everyone's your enemy. Remember also, there's a balance to this. The lesson is, how can I bring all of me to the present? How can I be all of myself in the present? I have access to standing the ground. Also, I think a strength that you might be working on is how to let go of your point of view and listen. Be able to hear and really see someone and hear someone else's perspective without trying to be right or wrong. How can I feel like this feels around family, and this week in particular, around coming together and knowing when to stand your ground and knowing when to rejoice and celebrate, and know, is your goal, with aligning with what you want the end goal to be. Do you want the end goal to be that a closeness with your family, or being able to be yourself with your family? What is that end goal, and allow that to be aligned with that. This feels like a balance in this reading, that yes, stand your ground, but also create some space. Can you allow others to stand their ground against you and your perspective? It feels like both ways are very important. Can't, if you just want to stand your ground, but you're unwilling to have others be able to speak their truth to you, maybe criticize you, then you are entering into the space of becoming more like who suppressed you. There's a balance, and this also, that type of energy takes noticing when you're in your ego versus when you are aligned with what you're wanting as the final result. Your advice is 9 of Wands, spiritual strength, healthy boundaries. You might be exhausted. This is the card of the battle-weary soldier, weary soldier. To ask your guides and high vibrational beings around you to help with guidance, to invite guidance in, to invite protection in. Okay, yeah. A lot of you listening are very intuitive. A lot of you run a lot of divine feminine energy. During this time, you might be healing that feminine energy, your feminine side. You might notice even physical issues, physical symptoms on your left side of your body. Feels like your feminine energies are getting an upgrade. Feels like you balancing that masculine energy of standing your ground and the focus and on aligning with what you want, balanced with the receptive energy of also allowing others to have their truths. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that masculine and feminine energies, that's where your strength is. Not being too much in that masculine energy, or not staying in the mode of masculine energy of defensive and speaking your truth no matter what. Like, there's a beautiful balance that can be achieved. There's a sensitivity that feminine energy has, and empathy, purity, high morals, very sacred. I think until recently, you might have felt that there was one way or the other, to be in your masculine energy and be someone who speaks their truth and stands their ground and never lets it, and versus feminine energy of just allowing people to do whatever they want and not, just receiving. There's a balance that can be brought. You can have both and know when and how much of each energy. I know as I peeled from these types of energies, I tend to enjoy being in more feminine energy. I'm used to it. And then I will just go into masculine energy and, so it takes a while to learn how to find that balance. How can you bring both your masculine and feminine energies to a situation? You might notice what I'm getting is learning how to respond and not react. That sometimes you might feel really triggered by someone who knows how to push your buttons. And what I'm getting is to be curious, to be more in observer mode. See if you can get grounded and just watch. Watch how, wonder, get curious about what they're doing. What button are they trying to push? What buttons? I feel like that's been hidden to you for a long time. Like you just, or maybe you felt like something was wrong with you. With gaslight, this feels like gaslighting. People who purposely try to stir your emotions. Honestly, I'm getting that it makes you look crazy, unhinged. So when you try to speak the truth about these type of people and their behaviors, then you go from here to here, and that seems very unhinged. And so they can get away with more. Maybe just looking at them and, why are you being so mean? Why are you pushing my buttons or trying to push my buttons? Or don't say anything, just notice. People who gaslight and manipulate, they're really good at it. A lot of them are very good at it and are covert. And you end up thinking that it's you, that there's something wrong with you. And it's a way to invalidate you, to stop people from believing anything that you say, because you go from here to here to here to here. It kind of feels like that family pattern of the ups and downs as well. Maybe what I'm seeing here is just a family patterns of nobody really understanding how to use emotions effectively. Maybe they avoid emotions even though they're hypersensitive. Feels like in this type of reading that the people in your family are a little bit of everything of this, but so even someone who's been emotionally manipulated and knows how to emotionally manipulate others as well. But in this family dynamic, it tends to be people either tend to be more the manipulator and the one who is emotionally looked at as the scapegoat in the family, and they discredit you behind doors, or maybe not, maybe in front of everybody else. Maybe they try to get you to go off. So whatever you say, whatever truth you try to speak, your inability to know how to work with your emotions makes you seem unbelievable. It's very frustrating. It's exhausting. I wondered if some of that holiday energy, so many people being around families this week, if that would start coming into the readings, and it has. So that's your reading. I hope you have a wonderful holiday. I hope this was helpful. Have a safe and wonderful week. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye.